Jason McCann with Mountain Tactical Company. We just got a shipment from Germany, from the German stock company, and I was going to show you an unboxing of this stock. However, the box was toast. It didn't make the trip very well. However, all its contents were in great shape. Now, Thomas over at GGS and I started talking on Facebook. He was kind of getting my opinion on their stocks, and I said, well, I can't really give an opinion unless I shoot it, touch it, feel it. So he went ahead and sent this over to us to test out. So thank you, Thomas. And quite honestly, I'm impressed. There are a couple of things that I was concerned about in the construction of this stock, and that was the fact that it has a laminate core in it. And you know, for those of you who have seen the Boyd's products, you know that laminate's not really, you know, the best unless you have a really good engineering to go with it. Additionally, this stock has an aluminum bedding block, and so those of you who have been with us for a while know that I'm not a huge fan of Bell & Carlson. We used to sell Bell & Carlson because they had the bedding block and their price point, and we had more customer service issues with that Bell & Carlson stocks, or with those Bell & Carlson stocks, than any other product we've had. Mostly quality issues. The chassis that they put inside there, the bedding block that they put inside there, never fit the action right. It looks like they just modified a Remington. And this is not the case, and we'll get a close-up here in a second and I'll go into detail, but this bedding block, I've never seen anything machined so precisely for any other rifle make. This is just beautiful. Push button height adjustment, just like the GRS line, and the recoil pad, no, it's not a limb saver. It's, I can't even pronounce the brand, I'm sorry, my German is a little rusty, but I mean, it's a little squishy. We'll know once we shoot it. Ergonomics, you pretty much have the same grip angle as an AR-15. So just taking it around the shop, it's very maneuverable and very comfortable. So wait, let's dive into this bedding block, and we'll get a close-up shot and I'll show you why I'm so impressed with this. So as you can see, this is just CNC machined to perfection, and then it looks like it has a hard anodizing, which is why, I mean, it's an aluminum bedding block, but when you hard anodize, you get that dark gray color. If you just do a decorative anodizing, you can't actually tell it's anodized until you dye it. So the fact you have this dark tint on here, they definitely hard anodized this. And then the machine lines, I mean, they're crisp, they're tight. Instead of the Bell & Carlson, where they actually try to machine the recoil lug out of aluminum, they put a stainless steel recoil lug in here, just like the ones we make, and it's pressed in. This thing's not going anywhere. There's no play in it at all. And then the cool thing about the Tikka Action is there's not very many stress points on it. I mean, the Tikka Action is, I think that's one of the reasons why it functions so much better than a Remington or a Savage, is because you don't have potential high spots with it being a round action in contact with the stock all the way around. When you have the Action, you simply have these little points. And so, if I put an Action in here, this has zero play. It's not going anywhere. This is actually a tighter fit, or a more precise fit, than the factory stock. Now, why is this important? When you bed your rifle, if you use a bedding compound, which is something that, you know, we advocate for precision rifles going into any sort of wooden or laminate stock, you have to remove all the variables. And so we use DevCon here at the shop, and so you're putting a perfect mating surface for your Action. It's a perfect imprint of that one Action, so there's no stress points on there, and it can't move. It can only fit together one way. This bedding block, how they engineered it, there's no pressure points on the Action. The recoil lug acts exactly how it's supposed to, which is like a pillar. Your bottom of the Action, where the Action screws come in on the Tikka Action, are designed to be like pillars as well. And so this is riding on that pillar system that Tikka engineered just beautifully. with zero play. I can't wait to shoot this stock because I've never shot an aluminum chassis rifle stock that I've liked. There's always accuracy issues and there's always movement within the stock under recoil. And so far, I mean, they seem to have solved that issue. So I'm excited to go out and shoot this. So one of the nice features about this stock is it has the push button adjustability just like the GRS. And they literally ripped off the GRS system. It's exactly the same. The difference is this one's smoother and this is recessed in. The button's recessed in. You can see they did a really nice work laser engraving their logo on here. And all the hardware is hard anodized. Now, why is that important? The reason why that's important is aluminum likes to gall against itself. And in the GRS system, you have aluminum on aluminum, and sometimes that'll get sticky. That mechanism will stick when you're shooting, which obviously you don't want. The fact that this is hard anodized, it gives a nice hard surface for that to ride on, and it's not sticky at all. So it's actually comes apart just like the GRS. They have a little screw here. They have your retention nut on a spring that holds it in place, puts pressure on the screw threads. I talked to Thomas about why he did not include a length of pull adjustment, and his explanation made a lot of sense, which is the fact that, and we've experienced this with the GRS as well, under high recoiling calibers, these little threads just can't take that recoil and the stock ends up collapsing on itself and you end up ruining the whole mechanism. So he wanted to make sure that this stock was completely reliable. So he did not include that in this particular system. But again, that nice dark finish on the anodizing shows that this is a true hard anodized surface. So side by side, you can see the factory stock and the German gun stock are virtually the same length. Length of pull is virtually identical. So the big difference with the German gun stock is its construction. As I said earlier in the video, I'm leery of laminate stocks. Even the stocks that we were making out of laminate, we would still recommend people bend them. Just because it's wood. Wood shrinks, swells, you get into a humid environment, it's going to swell, it constantly changes shape. And laminate is really cool because you impregnate it with resin, the same resin that you would use to manufacture any sort of synthetic stock, and that stabilizes the wood, but it's still wood. Now, I went over my concerns with Thomas, and it's very interesting how he explained the engineering on their stocks. The core is laminate. It's a laminate that they make. It's a birch bark laminate. They put the resin in there. They compress it under 60,000 psi while it cures, which is, they're doing all the right things there. Then they machine the core of the stock to get it shaped. Now, they then have it sounds like a proprietary resin that they came up with that seals that laminate. So actually, it's 6 millimeters thick, which is roughly a quarter of an inch. A quarter-inch thick all the way around here is a special resin, seals that laminate in the core, and makes a watertight seal around this. So this should actually perform much like a synthetic stock that you would see from Macmillan or Manners, and it's much lighter than some of those stocks. So a factory Tikka stock weighs 1 pound 12 ounces. The German gun stock weighs 3 pounds 6 ounces. So not a huge weight difference, right there. And I gotta say, it's incredibly well balanced. I think it's going to be a dream to shoot. We're going to kind of torture test it a little bit as well. One last thing, and just because badassery is part of the gun industry, this paint job is awesome. And Thomas is actually a tattoo artist, and he hand paints every single one of these stocks. You can see there's some stencil work, almost like a cryptic. They get their logo in here. multiple different colors. There's obviously there's a significant amount of engineering that has gone into this stock, and there's a significant amount of pride that has gone into this stock. So I'm going to stop rambling on about it and go shoot it. We're going to put our shop CTR in here. We're going to go shoot this thing and see how it performs in the field. So I almost forgot to mention, Thomas threw a couple of these inside the box with the stock, and these are the Punisher brakes that they sell. And I gotta say, presentation wise, let's see if I can actually get it out of here. Presentation wise, this packaging's awesome. Thomas, I might have to steal your idea and start packaging our products like this. Look at that. All right, lots of pride here. I mean, you have custom cut foam insert. You even have a laser cut for the wrench to go in here. I gotta say, I can't wait to shoot these things because there is a significant amount of pride that goes into the manufacturing of these. You can even see, so on the stainless one, it's easier to see than this other one, which I'll explain the coating on this in just a sec. But laser etched, their logo in, and the model. They have multiple sizes. I did request a 5H24 because I knew I was putting this on our CTR. They do have the metric threads as well for the T3 Tactical. And again, just the badass factor. This is just looks badass. I have a Screw-Fear Mirage band, which very popular in Europe. Not many people use it here in the States. And then it looks like this is not a time brake. We're just going to screw it on, and then instead of using a crush washer, we'll time it and then tighten this screw down with the provided Allen wrench in order to make sure it doesn't turn on. So this is going to look really good on our shop CTR. Now, you threw this in here, and I think it was more as bragging rights. It's really difficult to see the laser etching on here, and it's because this is one of his friends is an engineer and came up with this proprietary coating. It's being used on some cutting tools. Sounds like it's a step above salt bath nitriding, and this is supposed to repel carbon, so very easy to clean, incredibly durable, as well as being incredibly chemical and weather resistant. So we'll put this through the paces this winter and see how it survives a Montana winter on a hunting rifle. So again, really, really cool. Again, just look at that presentation. Nice little box, custom cut foam. I mean, this is a company that takes a lot of pride in their product. All right, well, I've rambled on enough about all this. Needless to say, I'm incredibly impressed with the presentation. I'm impressed with the look and feel of the product so far and the little bit of function testing we've done in the shop. Let's take these out to the field, see how they actually perform in the field. Don't forget, register to vote. Froderick here did. I think he's voting for Hillary. I don't know, he's dead, but they like those votes. So anyways, let's go shoot this stuff.